Hi everyone. Today we are going to talk about Capricorn Rising, and it's going to be really exciting because I think Capricorn Rising and Capricorn sometimes get the short end of the stick. And I think they are sort of misunderstood underneath all that serious energy. They have a stoicism about them. So we're going to break the secret code today, and we're going to talk about Capricorn Rising. So I'm in my rising sequence, and I started with Sagittarius Rising last month, actually in December, and now I'm doing my Capricorn Rising video. So if you are a Capricorn, or if you're Capricorn Rising, this is specifically for you. So let me talk a little bit about what is a rising sign. You know, you can only know your rising sign if you know your birth time and your birthplace. So if you don't have that information, you'll never get to know your rising sign. And if you go and see an astrologer, they might be able to help you narrow it down. And you need to know precisely the time, because the rising sign changes about every 2 to 2.5 hours. And so the rising sign, what is it? You know, what happens to you when Capricorn is your rising sign? You know, and if you're lucky enough to know a Capricorn rising person, I'm hoping that you'll get to learn a little bit more about them and what they need to thrive in life, because they're pretty misunderstood. And I want to help you really peel this onion. So this is going to be about probably 20 minutes. So sit back and get your coffee or your tea or your wine or your martini and enjoy this video. So Capricorn is the symbol of the mountain goat, and it's really important that you think of that symbol as we talk, and how incredibly capable mountain goats are. I mean, they can climb up a mountain, you know, like this. They are absolutely amazing. It's like they have suction cups on their feet, and they like to reach the ascension of anything, of relationships, of money, of work. They like being on top. They're ruled by the planet Saturn, and they basically boss around the 10th house, which is your place in the community, the good works that you leave behind, basically your legacy, who you rise up to be. The 10th house is the highest place in the chart. And I'm telling you, if you're ever looking for a Capricorn, look on top. They are some high place within their societal structure. They are on top, and they're usually alpha. They're usually not buried underneath. So let's talk about your rising sign. Your rising sign is your persona. It's how you ask the world to experience you. It is not your soul, and it's not your sun sign. So you might be, you know, a Gemini sun sign, but you're Capricorn rising. And your rising sign creates your whole relationship to the world. It's how you're going to walk into someone's life, how you're going to say hello. It's your wrapping paper. It's how you dress up. And it's really and truly basically how I ask you to see me. But it may not really even be me. So it's a part of me, and it's an expression of myself, and it is how I physically look, and it's how I dress, and it's how I interact with you. But it is not my soul, and it is not my mind. It is something, however, that I do. It is the first impression that I create. It is the mask that I wear. Now, what's interesting is when you get a mask, like Capricorn rising, if you will, and it's incompatible with your sun sign, it does a very interesting dance. And so how I describe this, forgive the noise, that's the little dog that I'm babysitting playing with his toy. He's a Sagittarius. anyways, okay, so your rising sign is basically the filter in which you see, it's the lens you see life through. So rising signs are the most obvious astrological makeup, I guess, of ourselves. They're far more obvious than your sun sign. So when somebody asks you to guess their sign, what you're really going to see is guess their rising sign, because that's what they're showing you. And if you're involved with a Cancer, a Pisces, or a Scorpio, you definitely probably won't see that because those signs are more hidden. Oh my gosh, Lou just wants to squeak through my little video. God bless him. I love him so much. But he wants attention because I'm not talking to him. Little Sagittarius. So, hi, Lou. You won't be able to see him, but he's just cute as a bug. Oh my God. He's just adorable. Anyways, let me go back to the rising sign. So the rising sign is sort of this outer layer of a person, and it casts a shadow like a cloud to the sunshine. It casts a shadow on all of life and on the entire natal chart. And it actually creates a color or a hue and places that onto the sun sign. So you're never just your sun sign. You are never just a Cancer. You are never just a Virgo. You've got to take into consideration your rising sign. And when you know somebody's rising sign, you know their approach to life. You know, you can see how fast or slow they move, and how they're going to immediately interpret information is based on their rising sign. It's going to be their relationship to the world or to information or to you. If you walked into a dinner party, how would you walk in? What would you wear? How would you say hello? How would you make yourself comfortable? What would you bring? All of that is your rising sign in action. So let's talk about Capricorn risings. You know, no matter what your sun sign is, if you're a Capricorn rising, you're going to be of a serious-minded disposition. You are going to be ready to deal with the world in the most serious and committed, and you usually will you will put yourself in a position of importance or responsibility and leadership. You may, at a dinner party, sit next to the most important person in the room because on some subconscious level, that's how you see yourself. Capricorn risings see themselves, or they hope to be, of great importance, a great leader, of great value, and of great meaning. And so they jockey and position themselves to do some version of that, to express that in some way. They're not really going to be sucking their thumb in the corner ever. Now, if the party is frivolous and stupid or foolish in their mind, they might check out. But usually, this Capricorns are cardinal. They have cardinal energy, which is leadership energy. So they have a thrust to themselves, but they're quite calm and dignified and introverted. And so they do this with an air of dignity, if you will. They don't do this with an obnoxious flair. The cardinal energy in a sign, the cardinal signs, I should say, they like to make things happen. And with the earth element in Capricorn, along with the cardinal element, is what creates loyalty, commitment, fortitude, security, and they get things done in a very pragmatic and calm way. One thing for sure, Capricorns rising, they like to be in control, and they thrive absolutely on security. So they like to batten down the hatches, and they like to make things safe for themselves and for you, especially if they're responsible for you. So there's a grounded wisdom that usually radiates from these people, and they usually give at hello even very sound, solid, helpful advice for others. And they actually thrive when others seek that of them. So if you're trying to really get into good graces with a Capricorn rising, seek their wisdom, seek their advice. Now, their advice and wisdom is going to be very sound and very pragmatic. They're probably going to tell you what stock to invest in, or what kind of key lock you need to keep your deadbolt, say a deadbolt to keep your house safe. They're going to talk to you about security windows and the best security camera there is. I mean, it's going to be very pragmatic and practical advice. Now, they can be sage. They can be wise in the intangible world too, but they are so good at the concrete details of life. And they have this steely determination that you're going to see right away to deal with reality head on. these people really crave, Capricorn risings really crave taking on this larger mission that shows them and others in their social circle that they are of great value in this lifetime. And their work is mega, mega important to them. It is their mega theme in life. And although they will probably complain about their work, they may even hate their work, they kind of actually really like it. They like doing something they hate. I know it sounds crazy, but Capricorn risings have a real sincere and serious relationship with misery. I'm not kidding. They and I think the reason why this is that they don't believe in anything is for free. They have a belief system that if it seems too good to be true, well, then it certainly is. And they don't trust anything that's for free. They don't trust a free ride. And that's because they believe that anything truly good in life requires hard work and dedication and devotion and grit and tenacity and fortitude, and eating your spinach every day for dinner is going to be what makes you strong. So really, Capricorn's life is about a bunch of responsibilities all strewn together. And when you do hard work, you get big rewards. So Capricorn risings are some of the hardest working people you will ever meet. I would say they are some of the hardest working people in the entire zodiac. So in their heart, there's Lou, of course, during my video. He wants to say hi. In their heart, you know, they truly believe that life is never going to be easy for them. They would say they're not being pessimistic. They would say they're just being practical, pragmatic, and truthful. And they are a little bit on the cynical side because their belief about hard work really represents their entire value system, and it permeates through their whole attitude about everything. And they don't really think that you can be lazy or easygoing, easy breezy, light and frivolous and spontaneous and wayward and a drifter, and also not be a fool, and also not be successful, or I should say, and be all of that and also be successful. They equate all of that with I kind of think being a little bit foolish. So if you have Capricorn rising on your love team, I want you to truly expect loyalty and devotion. That doesn't mean that all Capricorn risings are faithful, but it is a value that they would at least start out with. And maybe if they can't fix a problem, they might stray. If they feel like there's just no solution at all, that's the most likely reason why a Capricorn would stray and not stay. So they may seem a little bit pessimistic, but truly they're being pragmatic, at least in their mind, and they are always prepared for the worst case scenario. So if they're on your love team, being prepared for the worst case scenario can be highly annoying. Trust me, it's highly annoying, especially for signs that don't even want to think about the worst case scenario, signs that aren't even in touch with worst case scenario, signs that feel like thinking about worst case scenario just contaminates life. A Capricorn rising can be, a real buzz buster. I mean, just absolutely annoying. But they are probably prepared and ready for any emergency they can think of or you can think of. And in the big picture, it's really kind of nice having somebody who cares that much about you. And come here, Lou. Come say hi. Do you want to come here? Lou is short for lieutenant, and he is the boss of everything. Wait till you see how cute he is. He's a Sagittarius, though. Can you see him? Oh, God, he's so cute. Let's see Lou. Look at Lou. Lou, he's so jealous. He is so stinking jealous. Oh, my God. Hold on. I got to get back to my video. So anyways, I was saying it would be nice, if somebody cares about you that much, right? So no licky, no licky. As a partner, you know, they're really focused on security and financial security, because their worst fear is to become dependent on somebody else. And they don't want to be dependent on anybody. They like having cash in their bank. So ultimately, they don't have to count on a soul other than themselves. They're really independent. And they don't like taking money. They don't like taking anything from anybody. So if you're lucky to have your Capricorn on your work team, well, you can expect them to carry seriously most of the load. And they're born to lead, and they like to be quietly in charge. And they, you know, they can be hard to move, they can be hard to persuade, and they're difficult to change. So if you're inclined to get them to, you know, change or be different, you know, get ready to have your very prepared case file, get ready to go on trial and have a smart and strategic rebuttal for every single worst case scenario they're gonna think of. And if they respect you, they will sincerely take into consideration what you say. If you are a successful person in your own right, these people will listen to you, especially if you are their superior in some way, shape, or form. If you are a parent, or if you represent tradition that they value, if you represent a piece of the community that they admire, they will listen to you. They are so highly ambitious, and they will persevere until they have reached their goals and your goals. So they are great team players on your work team. They're born to guide, and they are filled with just an unusual wisdom, both pragmatic and intangible wisdom. When they're self-developed, they are the wisest people on the planet. Capricorns and Capricorn risings are born old and they grow young. They're like the Benjamin Button story. So over time, they get more lighthearted because they come to value the silly, but not until they're much older in life. So they're kind of, they're so serious. I say by the age of 7, they're already like capable of paying the mortgage, doing the dishes, driving a car. I mean, they grow up super fast. They have very high expectations placed on themselves. Somebody, some system or structure has placed very high expectations, and they don't fail. They're perfectionistic. So they're used to reaching their goals at a very young age. And they will go to the ends of the earth for somebody that they respect and somebody who they've developed compassion for. They feel so very capable inside that, and they usually are, that they'll most often lend a hand to those who are in need of their capability. So that's a little clue for you too, how to turn on a Capricorn, need them. How to seriously turn on a Capricorn, need their advice, their guidance, their wisdom. They like being in charge. They love being the leader. And so they really cherish somebody valuing that. They cherish somebody saying, you know, you're important. You're of value. I respect what you've done with your life and how you've done it. I'd love to shadow you. Would you be my mentor? Now, that's not going to work so well in a love relationship, but you get the idea. You know, the trick about Capricorn rising is they're going to ask for nothing. They will rarely, if ever, ask for anything in return from you. They are great pretenders around, I need nothing. And don't buy it. Don't believe it. Don't buy into it. And also just don't waste your time asking them for what they need, because they just flat out won't tell you. Just discreetly show up with what you know they might need, or what might assist them in their greatness, if you will, and quietly give it to them, because they don't like a lot of flamboyance, and they don't want to think that you think that they actually need something. So just quietly lay it on their pillow, or put their favorite shampoo that they might benefit from in the shower. You know, it's sort of like place it there. Put their warm cup of coffee in their car in the morning. They will never ask you to pour them a coffee, but Capricorn rising will love that, because nobody really takes care of Capricorn rising like they take care of others, because they're great pretenders, like they need nothing. And so we oftentimes misread them. That's why they're misunderstood. They're very stoic in their expressions and they don't ask for much. Here's how you'll recognize the Capricorn rising. They're slow and purposeful in their movement. They are cautious. They walk with a great sense of dignity and pride and a sense of purpose. Their walk can be really slow and steady, and it seems to take up a little more time than it should, and they will not be rushed. And this is because they hold on to their power. So don't try to ruffle their feathers. Don't try to rush them in and sit them down where you want them to sit. It's not going to work. This is because they are absolutely, it's absolutely imperative that they don't make a mistake. They don't like making errors. They like calculating. They like summing things up, and they like putting themselves in a position of authority or leadership or alpha or top dog placement. And so they don't want to be relegated to wherever you want them to be. They're going to go where they naturally can feel that. So, you know, when they move slowly, this gives themselves time. This will feel restrained, though, to other signs. And this will feel kind of serious. And this can, you know, this level of restraint and this level of having it all completely put together at all times, never making a mistake, being perfectionistic and climbing on a daily basis, Mount Kilimanjaro, not kidding, reaching their goal, it leaves them absolutely exhausted. It takes a lot of energy to be efficient and effective and safe and wise and pragmatic on an hourly, minute basis by basis, on a daily basis. They get up and minute by minute they want to achieve a goal, achieve greatness. And to a Capricorn, you know, they never want to make a mistake, and they know that they're in charge of others, and they take this to heart. It's absolutely critical that they navigate life's battleship so perfectly, because a battleship cannot make a mistake, right? That they want every single day, every single hour to have meaning and value inside of it. And they chip away at their day, working hard to achieve all that. So these people at the end of the day are exhausted. They are absolutely exhausted. They put work first, so relationships sometimes take a backseat. Why? They're so tired. They just went and achieved all these goals. They kind of hope that you can be maybe a little self-sufficient, but they probably, even in their exhaustion, are still not going to ask for much. So Capricorn risings love structure and traditions, and they often see life through the lens of right and wrong, and how do I fit in to the larger context of this societal or group structure? What are the rules? What are the regulations? How do I adhere to the rules? How do I add value to what already exists? You know, they often join the ranks of a system, trying to climb the ladder to become an influencer in the system, not just a cog in a wheel. If you really want to kill a Capricorn off, make them a cog in the wheel and nothing else. Make them work on a factory assembly line. And if that's not the best job that was ever held by anyone in their entire family, then I'll tell you they're probably struggling. But if that is the best thing anybody in their family has ever done, and that's a position of alpha or top dog, if that's their Mount Kilimanjaro, my God bless them, right? So it's all relative, but they want to be in a top position. So they want to rise to the top. So they're driven and they're steady, and these people are climbers. They usually really respect their senior advisors, gurus, bosses, and those who have served more time than them. They respect their elders. They respect people who did blood, sweat, and tears to pave the way for them. And interestingly enough, they want others, subordinates, if you will, to respect them and their position in return. So they really do seek admiration, but not like a Leo or a Sag or an Aries. They don't want free admiration ever at all. Not that those other signs really do, but I'm just saying they are so not superficial. They want to have earned their Boy Scout badge or their Girl Scout badge. They will have really done the work. They don't want to cheat because they feel, you know, like nothing's for free. If they cheat, they're cheating themselves. They're losing the true merit. So they do want to be respected, and so they work very hard to achieve these goals. And so because they are so capable of having so much attainment in this lifetime, they are extraordinarily persistent, and they are incredibly determined. And they are cautious and calculating in everything they do. So they will not be impulsive. And if they are, they usually regret it immediately. So if you're an impulsive type, be patient with your Capricorn risings. There's this intense amount of thought and concentration that's loaded into every single step they take on their ascension. And it's because of this determination that they usually find a greatness with their life, a greatness on a grand scale. You know, Capricorn, just the sign itself, rules that 10th house. And that 10th house is, so all Capricorns are going to be able to relate to having a great career, building a certain amount of fame, acquiring a fortune, having a strong reputation or a status or a standing within their community. So these things become a really sharp focus in this lifetime. And you'll see that at hello when you meet a Capricorn rising, you know you're in the presence of somebody who has a great dignity about themselves. So what do they look like? Mostly they look serious. Mostly they look like they kind of have to work hard to find a smile. They carry themselves with this calm authority, and they look like and feel like and say hello and shake your hand like they are somebody important. And they usually are in their circle. They have an air of being refined and dignified and stable and calm and unruffled. And even if they don't feel that way, they want you to see them that way. So let them woo you that way and compliment them on it. You know, Giselle is a Capricorn rising. Meg Ryan is a Capricorn rising. Lauren Conrad is a Capricorn rising. They all have different sun signs, but think about them for a minute. All beautiful, but all kind of stoic. I know Meg's acting career, she's a Scorpio, can you believe it, with a Capricorn rising. She is so uber serious, it's crazy. But her acting was this darling, effusive character always, right? But they all kind of have a tight-lipped smile, a pointed jawline, kind of smaller eyes. But one thing Capricorns usually have are these incredible cheekbones. They usually have really high, prominent cheekbones. And so the other thing is they don't reveal their emotions. Think of Capricorn risings as wanting to be safe. So they don't just show their, you know, emotions to just anybody. You have to earn getting the big reveal, right? So they keep it all sort of tucked in and buttoned up, and they dress usually in a classic style, a classical style, like a Chanel or maybe a Ralph Lauren. That's very Capricorn rising. They're a little bit elegant in their taste, if you will. And they're not usually disheveled. Even if they're going to wear a t-shirt and blue jeans and tennis shoes, they're probably going to be nice. They usually dress kind of in a stunning way. And so Capricorn rules the bones and the teeth. So Capricorn sun signs usually have really big teeth and really prominent bone structure in their face. But Capricorn risings usually just have that prominent jawline, or usually long, thin noses, sometimes long, thin faces. But the cheekbones usually just stand out. You can oftentimes tell a Capricorn rising just by their cheekbones. Their bone structure is usually just drop dead gorgeous. And they usually look like they are calm, slow, quiet, thoughtful, and concentrated. When you're in a conversation with them, they usually like to listen to what you say, digest it, think about it, and then answer. So they can be awkward sometimes talking because they have big processors and they want to add value to the conversation. So they search, and they have an air of deep self-respect and self-esteem and self-confidence. Even if they don't have that for real, that's what they want you to see. So their outfit, their clothes, and their expression will show you that. Their necks are usually kind of thin, along with their nose and their face. And let's see, so Jane Fonda, Taylor Swift, Ariana Grande, Priscilla Presley, Kylie Jenner, Queen Elizabeth II, and Naomi Campbell. I don't have enough male examples, but those are some examples of Capricorn risings, and you can see the stoicism. So Capricorn risings are going to, when they are developed really well, add value and meaning to your life if you're involved with them. And they want to have a life that has a deep sense of purpose. Here's an example of how I talk about Capricorn risings. You know, sometimes Capricorn risings just have a job that they go to, but truly what's inside of them is they want to leave a great legacy or contribution to the world or into their world, a great tradition. So Capricorn risings are going to value, they're going to value tradition, and they are going to value putting a great work into society or life. Oftentimes you find them in authoritative positions like our federal government, cops, congressmen, politicians, CEOs. Sometimes I call the Capricorn rising just the CEO of the zodiac. They act like a CEO, and oftentimes they are the CEO of their family or of their office or of their work. But I like to compare it to Beethoven. You know, Beethoven didn't have a 9-to-5 job, but he created a lasting legacy, now 500 years old, of great works, great body of works, masterpieces, literally the master. And so think about that when you think of Capricorn rising and those beautiful women that I talked about that have this great sense of dignity and power and beauty and refinement. And if you're so lucky to have a Capricorn rising in your life, they're not going to be the most fun and spontaneous and jovial, but they will probably always have your back if they respect you or love you. They will be loyal to the mission. They will collaborate with you if they find great reward and value in you. And they want so badly to be important. So if you know a Capricorn rising and this doesn't fit, if they're lazy or sloppy or not engaged, not hardworking, something's wrong. Something is deficient in their life. Something went terribly wrong, because that's their innate desire for life. That is their truth. And you will usually see that right away. If you're having a hard time relating to somebody because they're quiet and stoic and calculated, they're kind of sizing you up, you know they have a certain power and dignity, and they have those gorgeous cheekbones, they're probably Capricorn rising. So I hoped you liked learning about all the secrets of Capricorn rising. If you do me a favor, if you know a famous Capricorn rising that's a male, put it in the notes below. And I encourage you to check out all my videos on my YouTube station, and just type in Soul Navigation on YouTube and you'll get me, and I have about 50 videos there that I hope you'll enjoy. So thanks for listening, and give your Capricorn risings something that they desperately need that they most certainly won't ask for. Take care and bye.